Hey, everybody. Welcome to the WADcast, episode number 90. I'm Josh. That over there is Brandon.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday.
It's Friday.
Good to see. Well, it's good to be here.
Oh, man, it's been a week. It's been a hell of a week, hasn't it?
It's been a hell of a 24 hours.
Yeah. I can attest to that myself. I mean, personally, we're getting into that time of year because, you know what my day job is.
Yep.
We're going into the final week of school. And I don't know what it is about the build up to it, but for some people, tensions are really high. So there are flare-ups of outbursts, things happening that, being in a position of authority you have to deal with.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, next week it's the schedule that's going to be all jacked up, and the kids are going to be all but missing, as parents slowly but surely say throughout the week, "Oh no, little Johnny, you don't have to go to school today. It's the last day. It's the last Thursday. It's the last Wednesday." Whatever the case may be, parents are like, at some point during the last week of school, we're going to just let our kids stop going.
Yeah.
I got to say,
yes.
I'm one of those parents because for me, today was that day.
That's what I used to do. I think the last 2 or 3 days of school, I just didn't go. Like, what's the point? You're going to go there and watch movies and that's it. Like, that's the last few days of school. In any grade, it's all pretty much the same thing, unless you're like into some stuck-up private school. Pretty much, it's all the same thing. You just go in there, you watch movies, and you hang out.
And to me, that last week was the only week really worth going, because you finally just you went to school and did the thing that you always wanted to do, which was hang out with your friends. You finally go to school and don't have to do that school stuff.
No. It's that's where school pretty much got rid of anything education related those last few days. It's like summer school wasn't much better. I got stuck. Me and my best friend got stuck in summer school after 8th grade, and we failed miserably in 8th grade. We were in summer school. If we didn't go to summer school, we would have gotten held back. So for a month, our school was nothing more than showing up and watching movies.
There you go.
That was our entire summer school. So, and what would normally be a really strict teacher, you can tell she just didn't want to be there. So she was just like, I mean, whatever we want to do, we could do. She didn't care. But
I had a teacher like that. I will admit there was one year where I was advised summer school would be an option, a mandatory option. And strangely enough, it was for American history, a subject that I liked, with a teacher that liked me, but he was one of those guys that wouldn't let that, kind of influence my grade. So I had to be more than likable. I actually had to do work, except for the summer when I was actually a part of, the track and cross country team. Their coach, or I should say our coach, ran a little shop out of his classroom, right? So they had this little deal where I would run the shop and sell the summer school kids candy and soda and Gatorade and things like that. And, work, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's how I spent my summer school. It sounds like you had more fun than yours, to be honest.
My summer school was just, I kind of just killed time. That's all I really did.
Although, the ladies love the candy man, just saying. The guy that had access to the storage room.
Yeah, and there's times where it's just like there are times where I really feel like I should have paid more attention to school, but then I realized my GPA was actually pretty damn good. My GPA in high school, I think at the end was like a 3.8, 3.9. Um, but I don't know.
You're one of
There,
those
there's
jerks
there's
that did
there's a lot.
homework.
Yeah, but so I was like, oh well, maybe I should like do something more with my life aside from working, like aside from going to film school. That's how I thought, like back in because my first initial thing was I wanted to go to school to become like a like work on TV.
Work on TVs?
Well,
Like
work
repair
on.
them?
Oh, no. Just like I'm saying, working on TV itself. But so like the thing is that I realized that's not really what I wanted to go to school for, and then I went back into school after Judy passed away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, again, sorry I couldn't come through today. I was not expecting to be stuck at work till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon. I got called in for an emergency at my job last night, and as you can tell, I look amazing after a wonderful 2 hours sleep in about like a 24-hour period. Um, but either way, so that brings us to our. I don't want to say topics because we don't really have a whole lot of topics, but there are. You and I were talking the other day, Josh, about shows that don't really make it very far for maybe like the right reasons or wrong reasons. They did their best, but they dropped the ball somewhere, right? Like, I mean, just certain things don't really add up.
Sometimes it's not even a matter of the ball being dropped as much as, it doesn't find its audience. That's
Exactly. And there's a show we had a guest, Matt McCarthy, a few weeks ago.
Matt's a great guy.
He really is. No, Matt was a lot of fun before, during, and after the show. He is so nice to talk to. He was so cool, so laid back, just chill. I enjoyed everything about being able to talk to him.
Come back soon.
Yeah, you're always welcome back here, buddy. But he got a guest starring role on this show called How We Roll. It was, I believe, on CBS, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I've been catching up on it on Paramount Plus. Because we don't have cable, we have internet, and all the programs that we watch are on specific streaming platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it. I watched How We Roll. I watched a few episodes of it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, back in the '90s, this show would have been amazing. This show would have been like, the first episode when it premiered did great in the ratings. But there's certain things that it's harder to find audiences now. Like, so shows that either have like a laugh track or shows that have like a live studio audience. It's really hard to find a proper, I don't know, like find a proper place for these shows. So How We Roll, and despite it being funny, despite it having a lot of heart, and despite it even making past the test, let's say getting made, then B, getting past the test audience, and C, getting through an entire season.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's how good of a concept this show was. Is how great it was. It made it through a whole first season, with people in it that have a very specific fan following. Yeah. So there, it's like, I mean, you have things like Last Man Standing, lasted for years, but you also had Tim Allen helming that show. The Connors is still going strong, but the Connors precursor was Roseanne. Of whom obviously is not part of the show anymore, but the rest of her family that made the show so great are in it now.
And personal feelings aside, I watch the Connors on a regular basis. It's my go-to on Hulu, the day after the new episode airs, and I think it's much better without Roseanne. And then that's
just
nothing to do with the things that she got canned over. It's just a personal preference that the Connors is better without Roseanne.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, I don't watch sitcoms. Like, I watched How We Roll because of me being a fan of Matt since, like, I believe 2009. Mm-hmm. Being able to, like, follow his career, like, through things like College Humor. I've enjoyed watching all the skits that he's in. He just owns it. Like, everything that he did in that show, he owned everything about his character of Carl. Just owned that character completely. Pete Holmes did a great job. All the cast did a great job. But trying to find an audience for a sitcom is so hard, especially if it's the kind that has like either a laugh track or a live studio audience. It's so hard to find a proper for like that three camera setup. It's so hard to find an audience for those kinds of shows these days. A lot of sitcoms these days don't have that. A lot of the sitcoms are just straightforward comedy dramas, and I would actually classify How We Roll as a comedic kind of drama series. Like if you took the laugh track out, I would look at it as a much more serious, substantial series than it was with the laugh track. Not to undermine anything that the writers or the producers or the actors put in, because they all did a great job. But I think it would have had a better audience if, it was shot like more straightforward, like single camera, maybe two camera, like, setup, as opposed to a sitcom series. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. What day of the week did it air on? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know, buddy. I think it was actually, I believe it was on a Friday.
Let's see. The original
Thursday or Friday.
March 30. It was a Thursday. That's right.
Okay, Thursday.
We were promoting it.
Yes, next Thursday. That's right. Yeah, it was. I remember it was like the end of the week. I remember that much.
So let's see. What's CBS Thursday night lineup? Come Dance with Me, Magnum PI, Blue Bloods.
Magnum PI.
That's tonight. Oh yeah, Magnum. They rebooted Magnum, but that's also been canceled. Thursday. Okay, that's sitcom night. Oh, Young Sheldon at 8:00. United States of Al at 8:30. 9:00. Ghosts. I've heard about that. And 9:30. Be Positive. That's, I guess, the current Thursday night lineup. And if I'm not mistaken, it was at 9:00?
I don't know, buddy.
So they put Ghosts in its time slot, and yeah, I'm not sure how popular United States of Al is. I've not heard of it, but it seems like, I don't know. Young Sheldon seems like it would be a good lead-in, but not style-wise, but it's definitely a popular show, Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
And when you're programming your shows, your nights, your lineups, when you have something new, it's generally nice to smash it up against something that's pretty well established.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, and I don't want to think that I'm like bad mouthing How We Roll, because there's a lot of shows that actually have a decent fan following, like with major characters, or like I guess in series like CW, a lot of those shows are being canceled.
Oh yeah.
CW is like going through them. And I believe there's even like an article about the head of the CW saying that they've spoken to all the producers and said, treat your finales as if your season finales as if they might be the series finales. How horrible is that, man? Like, oh my God, I have like another 3 seasons of storyline to go here because there's no way we can wrap this up in the next like 4 episodes.
Right.
Oh, well, you guys are getting cut after the season finale. Okay, so make it the series finale. Like, oh. Well, let's try to wrap this up then and leave it on like, it's the worst reason. This is why I don't get into TV, Josh. Like, I don't watch a lot of shows because of that reason. It's hard to get into it. Better Call Saul is the only one I really got into in recent years. That's only because there's no way they're canceling that show. It is a pivotal setup that gives leeway into Breaking Bad, which was a money train.
Well, it's on its last season.
It's on its very last season, but like with Breaking Bad, they only had a certain number of seasons because Vince Gilligan was like he was like, oh well, there's no way that I can make this last for seasons. I have to figure out an out before I even get into the whole show. Like he had a rough idea of how he wanted the show to end as he was pitching the series. And I understand the same thing with Better Call Saul. So like Better Call Saul, I'm waiting for it to end now so I can get my free trial to AMC Plus and then watch the new season of Better Call Saul. That's the final episode. Yep. spend one full day just watching Better Call Saul and not leaving the bed.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I'm doing too, and I agree with you. I like it when a series has a planned out.
But
I don't also always like knowing when that out is going to be, because I haven't been keeping up to date on the shows that are reaching their finales this particular season. So when I
yeah,
watched Blackish, the season finale, and I started, they got to the end of the episode, and well, I won't do any spoilers, but there's a big event, and suddenly, there's a lot of people dancing, right?
yep,
And I looked at the screen as out of nowhere, all of the series regulars started coming on and dancing with the family in their celebration, and I'm like, they're making it look like a series finale, like the show's ending. Why would they do that? And then I saw
yep,
the awkward white people dancing in the background, and I'm like, oh, writers are on screen. This must be it. So, yeah, sure enough, apparently Blackish is coming to an end.
yep. Well, and you have
Surprised me.
a lot of shows that are coming to an end because and not all shows that like Blackish made it to its, I believe, its final season, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I don't
Is it
know
the
if it
final
was
season?
like if it was pre-planned well in advance, or if they said at the beginning of the season, all right, this is the last one. But it was definitely a hard out for them.
Yeah, because I mean, like This Is Us has like its series finale coming up. You have a few coming up that are actually like the series finale, but you have other ones like Batwoman on CW. Let's face it, Batwoman is not a great show, guys. I'm sorry, I know it's got a fan following, but it can like I look at Batwoman the same way I look at as the way I look at Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot be its own show. It refuses to be its own show.
Excuse me.
Like a lot of Batwoman's villains are Batman villains.
Yeah.
Batwoman actually has a very strong story. If you ever read the comic books for Batwoman, it's a very strong story.
Mm-hmm.
This show just misses the mark every step of the way. I'm surprised it made it through 3 seasons.
I saw one episode.
Yeah, I got through. I think I watched one episode in the first season, and I watched another episode in the second season, and they're both horrible. It's just so bad. But then you have other things like Legends of Tomorrow's been around for 7 seasons. I'm surprised it's been around that long, but it's been around for 7 seasons.
Show.
I didn't expect it to be around that long. Like I don't think it's a horrible show, but I'm not a big CW fan. Like The Flash to me is just like it's constant like just redundancy. Every episode's the same thing to me.
Now,
like,
okay, yeah, imagine that. Yes, Flash has its formula and it follows very well. Kevin Smith talks about it and how he's like, I don't really have to do anything on set, when he directs an episode of The Flash, because everybody already knows exactly what they're supposed to do.
What they're supposed to do, what's going to happen, how it's going to end, all that stuff. Like it's constant. It's the same thing every single episode.
That's what made, I think, Legends of Tomorrow so awesome, because every episode was different. You didn't know when they were going to be, where they were going to be. It was a lot of fun. And the fact that they broke the meta and were just so entirely self-aware. In fact, during was it Crisis? I don't remember which crossover it was. But the big crossovers going on, Flash, Supergirl, and whatever. And someone tries, I don't remember exactly how it went, but someone tries calling somebody. And they're like, I can't get a hold of them. And someone else is like, they must be doing their whole crossover thing. Like,
yeah.
Should we join that? They're like, nah, not this time.
Yeah, but then you have other shows that like Saved by the Bell. You said that you like Saved by the Bell. I couldn't really get into it, like the new one.
It was fine. Again, I'm just a fan of shows that are so self-aware that they understand what makes them cheesy and stupid. Because on paper, the original Saved by the Bell, and on film, I should say, the original Saved by the Bell is very stupid. But growing up in that time, being a teenager or tween or whatever at that time when it was originally happening, you didn't really pick up on how terrible it actually is,
Oh
or
yeah,
how convenient a lot of the plots are, just completely solved and makes no sense.
yeah.
But
No,
the fact
absolutely.
that they could bring it back and make fun of that with some of the new characters, especially the ones that are like, why does everything have to involve a heist or crawling around in ductwork?
Yeah,
Like that,
right.
it's Bayside. That's what we do.
Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know. I just couldn't really get into the whole thing. Like I really couldn't. I tried,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
I
like
understand why it would definitely be a turnoff to some people like you.
yeah, and I like the original series. I like the original series of Saved by the Bell, but it just looked too much to me like it was supposed to be a I don't know, a it's where I'm looking for a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, they do bite into nostalgia, but again, to make fun of.
I got you. Yeah.
It's
Anyway,
I can see it like this. Kids watching it with their parents. The kids watching this because it's their class, right? The new
yeah.
kids. And the parents that are like, that's my class, the teachers. That's who I watched growing up. And it's an opportunity for the kids to make fun of their parents. Like, oh, that's what you liked? Because that's
Yeah.
what that was going on the show.
But it's like I mean, the thing is, Saved by the Bell actually it garnered a pretty decent audience from what I'm looking at the numbers. But it's just not as popular as they thought it would be. The Big Leap, I don't know what that is, but it's a lot of people are like not happy about that.
Happy that
But
it's here or happy that it's going away? What?
they're not happy that they're upset that it's actually going away. Good Sam, I don't know what Good Sam is, but there's a lot of TV shows. You know me, I don't watch TV, so there's a lot of TV shows I'm not familiar with. Um, Despite having some friends that work on various different shows, a few of them are actors, a few of them work like crew and camera.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is directing them. I just don't get involved in shows. Like, oh, did you see my new episode? Like, oh, I have it, buddy. Like, well, what do you want to watch? It's like, I work too damn much. I don't get time for TV. When I'm at work, Josh, you and I have things that we're trying to work on. That I'm trying to get caught up on because of how much I've been working the last few months.
Yeah.
So like, there's things that I'm focused on. So for me to watch somebody else's thing, like I have to have that free time. I don't, because once in a while sleep is awesome. I don't know if you can notice, but I'm running off of 2 hours sleep right now. So this is how people come up with great ideas. Usually just, sleep deprivation. It's a magical
All right.
experience.
Here's what I'm going to do. Every once in a while, I'm going to break into what we're doing and I'm going to read.
Oh,
Sound
okay.
good?
We're reading to people?
Yes. Okay, so first of all, since we're talking about shows that are coming and going for ABC, no, I don't want TVGuide.com to give me notifications. So I'm on TVGuide.com looking at the scorecard for the current season. And here is ABC slate 2020 airing season 43. Abbott Elementary, nice little show, renewed for season 2. America's Funniest Home Videos in its 33rd season.
Yeah.
American Housewife was canceled after 5 seasons. Maybe I'm on the wrong year.
It sounds like it.
On last year. By the way, American Housewife, I liked American Housewife because Dietrich Bader. Remember Dietrich Bader?
Yep.
So,
yes.
oh, I wish I would have had. All right, now I'm on usmagazine.com if I pass this ad. But we're going to go to NBC. Why not? American Auto got renewed for season 2. You haven't watched that, have you?
It sounds like a reality TV show, so no.
No, it's a sitcom.
No, then no. Even more so, no.
About an auto manufacturer.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
All of the Chicago shows got renewed. Fire, Med, PD. Ellen's Game of Games. Game over.
Oh,
Cancel.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm good.
Grand Crew renewed for season 2. Keenan got canceled after 2 seasons.
Keenan?
Yeah.
Like Avery Wayans or Keenan from SNL?
It's SNL.
Oh, okay.
He had his own show. And it wasn't bad. It's just, one of those middle of the road sitcoms.
Can we talk about a show that's coming out though, real quick?
Mr. Mayor was canceled. That's not surprising.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. SheHulk. Have you seen the trailer for SheHulk?
I did.
What did you think?
Not great.
But I remember
3 months out, right?
I remember seeing some merchandise that came out with the cartoony looking version of her. What you would see with the Avengers back in the day. You'd see McDonald's cups or whatever, but they had the hand drawn version, right, of these characters. The hand drawn version of She-Hulk looks the exact same as the live action version of She-Hulk. Because the CGI was so bad. And so there's memes going around right now, with Fiona from Shrek as She-Hulk. I'm like, oh my god! It looks like they got someone to take a character from Shrek and slapped it into the MCU. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to attack it because maybe the CGI is not finished yet. But so far, the things that have been released for the TV series, the limited series, like WandaVision. What is it? The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Moon Knight,
Loki.
You had Loki. What you saw as far as the CGI and everything else in those trailers looked as amazing as it did in the show. This one, you can't have someone like the Hulk that we've seen in the MCU for the last 10 years now. 10 plus years, rather. You can't have that Hulk and then years later show us this She-Hulk. It's almost like the same as what we saw in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And then what we saw in I don't know, when Jurassic Park 3 came out, 10 years afterwards, however long afterwards, it was bad.
Yeah, the original Jurassic Park special effects still hold up.
It does. But that's what I'm saying. Not to confuse that with the MCU, but you see the Hulk, you see the Smart Hulk, you see the Hulk from Thor Ragnarok, all that stuff. It looks. You can tell it's Mark Ruffalo's face.
The same trailer.
Yeah, and even the Hulk in the She-Hulk thing looks pretty damn good. Mark Ruffalo still looks pretty good, but for whatever reason, yeah, it just didn't really transfer great. Yeah,
I have every faith in Marvel to be able to fix it before premiere.
I mean, the thing is, Tatiana Maslany, I forget how to pronounce her last name. She is an amazing actress. She really is. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing how she does. I also watch the show, but it's, it's almost like, did you watch the Chip and Dale movie that came out yet?
No, it came out today.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched it yet. Danielle won't watch it. She will not watch that movie at all. Absolutely not.
Of course, I'm gonna watch it. I wish they had have leaked the spoilers, but
who leaked spoilers?
Oh, people everywhere. They're like, check
Well,
this out from the Chip and Dale movie. I'm like, come on. Some of us
are
are
you
actually looking
are
for
you talking about like a property from another film franchise?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we talk about that real quick?
You know what? Just for I'm gonna put down the spoilers banner. So if you see that banner, or if you're listening audio wise, you're gonna have 60 seconds to go. Turn down the volume. So starting
Okay.
now,
Okay.
spoilers.
I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog in that movie.
Not just Sonic the Hedgehog, but the original crappy design that fan outrage got changed.
No, the studio got bullied over.
And for good reason.
And they even call him Ugly Sonic in this movie.
I would have loved to be surprised to see that.
Yeah, I would have too. But Danielle will not watch this movie. She won't watch it.
Any particular reason?
Because she hates what they did with Chip and Dale. She hates the fact that they have actual regular voices as opposed to the chipmunky voices from the series.
5 seconds left in the spoiler.
No, I'm done with the spoiler. I was just talking about the Sonic the Hedgehog thing.
All right. And
but no,
we're out of spoiler territory.
But no, Danielle will not watch it largely because she doesn't like the animation style. She thinks it looks stupid, and Chip and Dale are her favorite characters in all of Disney, next to Peter Pan. Chip and Dale.
That she hated Rescue Rangers.
Huh?
Did I see that she posted she hated Rescue Rangers?
I think she means like the movie. She loved the cartoon.
Okay, because I thought that would. It's like, how can someone love Chip and Dale but not Rescue Rangers? That seems very strange to me.
But either way, so all this goes down, and it's just like it's. So because of these reasons, she will not watch this movie. She won't watch it. She's absolutely over it. There's nothing to do with it. So I'll watch it. I'll watch it sometime the next few days. But I'll watch it mainly because of the reason that we were discussing while we had the spoilers banner up. Because I really want to see how that goes down. But I'm on the fence. It reminds me kind of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but at the same time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit only had two different styles of one style of animation, which was the cartoony animation. This, you have the cartoon, you have CGI, you have claymation, stop motion, you have all these different styles of animation in this. I'm like, oh, okay, looks interesting. Oh, Dale looks real because he had some kind of like cartoon CGI surgery, I think it said in the trailer. I don't know, but no, she hates it because they actually have human voices in it instead of like the chipmunky voices. They have like the deeper voice, like you and I speaking. It's just that's what she doesn't like about it. So she actually slammed the door shut when I showed her the trailer. She stormed into the room and she slammed the door shut. So yeah,
passionate.
Yep, not a fan. Not a fan at all. So, but anyway, and then you have things like what do you call it? They're talking about I think I saw someone mention that they might have an Alien series that they're trying. I know they have a Predator movie coming out on Hulu in August, but there's a lot of stuff that's coming out. There's a lot of things that are being taken away. And Netflix, let's be honest, Netflix is dropping the ball with a lot of things, but Netflix is, I think, in panic mode right now. Because while they do have, they have plenty of people that are still with their service, but people are leaving in droves over the prices. They're like price gouging the shit out of their customers. It's like steadily rising up.
I canceled mine. No regrets. Although there are series that I want to see, quite a few actually, and seeing things like what was it? Russian Doll is going to get a second season. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but I'm interested in to see where the story goes, but I really don't want to have to.
Josh, I gave you an account on mine, right?
Yeah, but Papa Netflix is watching us.
I don't care.
Well, as long as you don't care.
Push comes to shove, they get rid of my account, and then I have a reason not to have Netflix anymore.
Well, you said you didn't want me as a customer anymore. So I guess I'm just not going to have Netflix. Yeah.
Well,
They
works for me.
make good stuff. I'm not going to pay, $25 a month just so I can watch Netflix.
Yeah, like that AMC pass that I have is like $21 a month, and I can see 3 movies a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like that makes up a price that does more than pay for itself. If I see 2 movies a week, it pays for itself completely. That's a good investment. Hulu actually has some good stuff. Hulu has more connections with other studios, other distributors, other streaming services. Hulu and Amazon Prime have amazing connections with other studios. Netflix is just Netflix. They're not teaming up with Starz or HBO or anything like that. These other ones are all crowded together. Netflix is like, no, we're the most expensive one, but we only have our stuff.
We are the SheHulk of the streaming services.
Yeah, they're.
But you know what? Hulu's going to have the Orville, so there you go.
Well, like Netflix just came out. I think it was Netflix, right? That had that show Space Force, right?
Yeah, it got canceled.
Yep, got canceled after 2 seasons, and they actually had decent views, I believe. I think they actually had like a decent audience.
And a cliffhanger ending. I hate it when they do that.
And again, this is why I don't watch TV. You have to get me like when it's going into its last season. I watched How We Roll out of respect for Matt and out of adoration for Pete Holmes. So I watched How We Roll for those reasons. They didn't really leave it on a cliffhanger, but you knew there was more to the story coming up.
Right.
So it wasn't like a major, massive cliffhanger. Like, oh my God, is he going to make it? You know, he makes his dream come true because it's mentioned in the very first episode that it's based on a guy that became a famous bowler.
Yeah, give you the entire journey.
The first 30 seconds.
Don't worry, guys. He's going to make it.
And it's also based on a real person, so you can actually look at the person and see what they've done for themselves. So
no one's actually going to do the research. Okay, some people do the research. I know there's some people that couldn't stand the suspense so much when they watched Uncut Gems that they started looking up the actual stats from the game that he bet on just to see if he would win the bet. They just couldn't take it.
Danielle does this thing whenever she's watching a movie, if she's not too sure, like, no, it doesn't matter what movie. She looks at, had the movie in, she's reading the damn plot synopsis. Like, so she knows how the movie's going to end.
Yeah, I can't do that.
I can't do it. It drives me crazy. She does it right next to me. As we're watching a brand new movie, and she's over here in the theater with her phone up, like just looking at the movie, like, how is it? What's going to happen here? Like, if it's a horror film, I get it. If you're not good with watching a horror film, she's kind of a pussy when it comes to horror movies. But when it comes to like a comedy or when it comes to like some kind of like drama or something like that, she's over here with her damn phone up, like just like, okay, this is what happens. Okay, yeah. Oh wow, okay, cool. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, reading about the movie and what's going to happen. Like, why? I was like, I don't like surprises. That's the point of watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be surprised. Well, you watch the movie, now I know what's going to happen. Like, okay.
I'll be honest. I have pulled out a few Wikipedia pages in my day, but mostly I'd say 99% of the time it's because I just finished a movie and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? I have no idea what's going on here.
No, there are times where I watch.
Let me figure out this. Oh, that's what it was about.
Yeah, and I get it then. If there's something that happens in the movie, it's like this artistic vision. You need to find out what happened. So you have to like Google, like, hey, what was the symbolism in this, whatever. But like I said, I'm getting scouted out right now because I said Danielle's a pussy when it comes to horror films. But everything else, she is with her phone cracked open. Like, huh? Well, you and Josh did the same thing. Like looking up the, we were talking about people that look at the plots like movies or shows or something. But that's the thing. Like people can't handle stress. They should be watching these movies. You're supposed to be stressed out when you watch them. Like Uncut Gems, you don't know if he's going to die or not. You don't know what's going to happen. He's got a gambling addiction. He may die. He may not. It was a very dark movie. But
is he going to win his bet to make everything okay?
Then you find out he does, and he dies anyway.
Yeah, give me a second to throw up that spoiler, Jack.
It's like 2 years old. I was going to say, Uncut Gems like 2 years old. They haven't watched it now. It's like throwing up a spoiler alert for like The Goonies.
By the way, just as on a tangential note here, I've been binge watching Head of the Class. I don't know if you remember that show.
I remember Head of the Class, yes.
Back when we were, for you kids at home that might not understand what we're talking about.
Weren't you talking about that earlier today? Head of the Class?
Yeah, Brandon.
Did you mention that earlier? Okay, never mind. That was Josh then. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, Josh. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, you guys were talking about Head of the Class. I thought you both were. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
Not just me. I'm literally the only person in the world that talks about Head of the Class, apparently. Anyway, I've been binge watching the hell. I'm on season 4. It has 5 seasons and a reboot on HBO Max. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that reboot. But anyway, I was watching Head of the Class, and today in season 4, they introduced a new character. I don't remember his name. I only saw the one episode with him in it. But I'm watching with the kids, and this new character he's sort of having a problem adjusting. They want him to join the academic team, and he just doesn't want to. Or as he put it, he's like, I would prefer not. And for a good few minutes, I'm squinting at the screen, trying to figure out if I recognize who this guy is. And I'll be honest, there might have been a little light racism involved. Because he's an Asian dude. And I was like, it sounds like who I think it sounds like. Kind of looks like who I think it looks like. But if I'm wrong, that says a lot about me. So I went to IMDb, looked up the information, and I'm like, okay, thank God it was who I thought it was. I am not a racist. That's good to know. I don't have the you know what I'm talking about. Anyway. I know. So one of the kids, I'm sitting next to one of the kids, and the character's having problems, like I said, fitting in a little bit because they want him to be a part of the team, and he's like, I don't want to. And I turned to my oldest, and I'm like, do you think he misses his old friends? And I, get that puzzled look that, a teenager will give you, like, what are you talking about, old man? And I'm like, do you think he misses his friends in the Goondocks?
Okay.
And then you see that flicker of recognition. At least I hope it was a flicker of recognition, because it was Data from the Goonies. I had no idea that he made it to be on a sitcom after the Goonies.
Oh yeah. That's what cracked me up. Like, I mean, this is like the newer sitcom, right? The newer version of it.
No, this was in the 80s.
Oh no, you're right. Well, what is he? What was he in? He's in something now. He's still acting.
No, I have no idea. The only thing I checked was is this the same Asian guy from the Goonies and Head of the Class? Because I think it is, and I'd feel real bad if it wasn't. And it was. So, yay me.
Let's see. Because I
But
know he left acting. He left acting for like 20 some odd years.
I guess I'm just going to go ahead and say in my defense, he was older, taller. You know, he wasn't a little kid anymore. So,
oh yeah, well, he's really known for like the Goonies and Indiana Jones.
yeah, I guess I could have pulled out that reference.
Like that's what he's known for. He's known for those two. That's right. That's what I saw him in. Everything, everywhere, all at once. He was in that. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry. Because he was also in Encino Man, 92. But then I guess like, yeah, he didn't really do much from like 96 all the way up to like I'm sorry from 2002 all the way up to 2021. He didn't do anything.
Probably, living life away from a camera for once. Compelling.
See, now I'm like reading up on his history. Thanks.
No problem.
Should be working on the show right now, but I'm like reading up about this about Dad to him, about Kihui Kwan. I'm probably butchering his name.
Wouldn't be the first time, not going to be the last. Young Rock was renewed for season 3. Young Rock, for you wrestling fans out there, for you fans of The Rock, you know this guy. Audio listeners, I just brought up our stock image of The Rock, as I'm prone to do from time to time. And just so you don't feel left out, Brandon, that's still on file.
Yeah, it's a great picture. I love that picture so much. Absolutely. You know what? The hell with it. I had a good time. You can show that picture all you want. I had a great time doing that.
I'm not doing it to make fun of you. I'm just saying.
It's my favorite job ever.
It's there.
Hey, that's how Brad Pitt got into acting. He was a chicken for KFC, I think, way back when.
Funny enough, also in an episode of Head of the Class.
No, I was going to say, wasn't he was in an episode of that, right?
Yep.
Like super young Brad Pitt.
I was like, wait, that's Brad Pitt. And he played a really super dumb guy. But really interesting, though, he stood out. I'm like, no wonder he's Brad Pitt. It's because he has talent.
Yeah, look how young he was when he was in that show.
It was
like that, the one episode, I think.
Yep, one episode.
And then, like when he appeared in Friends, he stole the show then too.
Yeah, but he was Brad Pitt at that time.
Yeah. He's a beautiful bastard. He's aged very well. I hate him.
How do you feel about the Goldbergs being renewed for season 10?
Don't know. I've watched one episode.
Well, I've watched. I'm a couple episodes behind the current season, but I've watched them all. But it would appear that they're coming back without the dad.
Oh, that's right. Something about like his on-set behavior got his ass fired, right?
Yep, him and Kevin Arnold both. Fred Savage.
Oh, that's right.
Kevin Savage canned from the Wonder Years for.
But you know what? At least I'll say this. At least he got fired after he revived this, spin-off series.
Yeah.
Because it is such a great series. So listen, Fred, thank you very much. But unfortunately, you became exactly what you were in Boy Meets World when you were trying to pick up Topanga in her whatever it was in her dorm. You're pretty much did the same thing in reality, and that's kind of what happens. And the same thing happened in that episode. This is like life imitating art, basically.
Or did they have that in mind when they wrote the episode?
Yeah. Well, in about 10 years, Fred, you're going to be doing this in real life. You're going to revive the show that made you famous. And then you're going to do the same damn thing that this character's doing that's getting his ass fired.
And speaking of the Wonder Years, it was renewed for another season, as was the Connors that we talked about earlier.
No good.
So ABC's doing a lot of renewing. Canceled Card Sharks. Was that the one with Joel McHale?
I think so. Yeah.
You know what that means? One step closer to Community, the movie. 6 seasons in a movie. Some of us are still holding out.
Good. Okay. No, my coffee's not heating up. Sorry, I'm here. I'm trying to get this coffee pot to work.
Just went on a canceling spree, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
Bull was canceled, although it says ending after season 6. Be Positive's canceled after 2 seasons.
So I'm curious if it's like more like it's sounding like with CBS that it's not so much a ratings thing, it's more like just like cleaning house. And I think a lot of the newer programs are the first ones to go.
Could be.
So that's what it seems like to me. So I don't think I'm too harsh on the whole How We Roll series. Again, I do like that show, but I think it's just kind of right place at the wrong time. I personally, I hope the showrunners kind of pitch that to other networks, because I think How We Roll would be great for like a Hulu original or something like that. I think it'd be great like on Hulu.
Nah.
No?
Nah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it should go somewhere that has a similar vibe. We're talking Hallmark. We're talking things of that nature where the goal is to be inspirational.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's an inspiring story, and
it is.
I just don't think, especially considering what it was paired up with in its time slot.
Yeah, I was going to say it didn't have like great shows surrounding it, but it's like it had established shows surrounding it.
I'm not sure what it should like you said. If this was the 90s, early 2000s, you put it with Grace Under Fire and you call it a day.
Oh yeah, Grace Under Fire, Will and Grace. It could have gone with like Dharma and Greg. No, what was it like? Even like in the 90s with Ryan Reynolds back in like the Two Guys That Grow in a Pizza Place. Like listen, those shows have a part. It has a spot in people's like nostalgia. People love those kinds of shows. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But it's hard to make them work in today's audience. It's hard to make that kind of show work. And if it's a show that's being filmed, again, I don't know if it's like a laugh track or if it's an actual live audience. I don't know.
Combination of both, maybe?
Probably. I don't think we ever asked Matt that when we had him on the show the other week. But yeah, like, I mean, it's one of those deals where it's just like, the other week, I think like a month ago. It's been a minute. But it's one of those deals where it's just like, if it's not a live audience, then I don't see why there would be a laugh track in it. Like, I think the laugh tracks actually cheapen a lot of shows.
I like MASH without the laugh track myself.
Oh yeah, no, MASH without the laugh track, it was still hysterical, but it got more gritty. It got. I think MASH without the laugh track is amazing. But they had like the cartoons from like the 60s and 70s. You have the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo. They had laugh tracks to them. Why?
To tell you when to laugh.
That just didn't work.
I'm not saying it worked. I'm just saying that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Mighty Ducks is getting a new season. Nice.
Oh, yeah, without Emilio Estevez, right?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I'm cool without them having Dr. Bombay or Gordon Bombay.
Why? He's the whole heart of the Mighty Ducks.
Was. But now the new team's established.
It's not this like I mean it set it up like he was going to be the new coach though. That's how the last season ended.
Well, he should have thought about that before he decided to be whatever.
What did he get fired over?
I hate to start rumors about something that I don't really know about.
That's fine.
If I recall correctly, it was because he didn't want to comply with COVID measures.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I'm not saying he pitched a fit. It was like, you can't have the Ducks without me. I'm Gordon Bombay.
All right, I'm going to take this off this thing. There we go. All right. Sorry. I'm trying to get this coffee maker to work so I can actually have some kind of caffeine tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All of the Real Housewives were renewed, in case you were wondering.
No, I was not. So we got the more Housewives shows. But, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I don't watch these kinds of things at all.
You should.
No, I'm good.
That way I won't have to.
No. Don't you have like a whole bunch of placenta running around the house right now? Estrogen. Get one of them to watch that kind of stuff.
I also raised them to have taste.
No. Oh, man. There we go. All right. Coffee.
It's Always Sunny was renewed for 3 more years.
But I mean, It's Always Sunny is one of those shows that you kind of have to like. It's almost like you feel bad for watching it. But I think that's kind of the point because you're rooting for people that it's like the rated R version of Seinfeld. That's what It's Always Sunny is. It's the rated R version of Seinfeld. It's like, what if they were even more horrible? You have It's Always Sunny. More horrible and less successful. Because realistically, there's no reason why you should ever root for anyone in that show, but it's also a brilliant show. I'm curious about the guys from South Park if they're still trying to get their show canceled. Because I remember for a while they were sick of doing South Park.
And it only made them more successful.
I know, right? Ending each show with hashtag cancel South Park.
Cancel South Park, and the audience is like, no.
You're not going anywhere. Dance, monkeys.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker, you're going to be doing this to the day you die.
It's funny the people that get pissed off over South Park. It's like, oh, they're so liberal. It's like, have you ever watched an episode of South Park? Like, I don't think they identify as either one political field because they make fun of so many different politicians.
Not to dwell on Head of the Class, but as I was watching it, I did notice that it does have a lot of political stuff in it, and it surprised me, especially considering the era that it was released in.
Yeah,
it's very, very liberal, very critical of Reagan and Bush and Quayle. They go to Russia and say, hey, this place is great.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like I said, I haven't seen that show in decades. I'd have to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, this was done in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, mind you, a lot of people weren't really too fond of Reagan at first. I mean, he was a Hollywood actor. That's all they knew about him when he ran.
But at some point, he became a golden god.
Yep, I know. Anyway.
So I'm just saying it was surprising to me to see how much they got away with.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't remember, hearing about thousands and thousands of people boycotting or things like that.
Oh no,
People just kept watching get out of the class.
No, I think all the people whining and bitching about everything. I think that's in the last couple of decades, like since the 80s. I think like I want to say like mid 90s was when it kind of started getting rough, and then early 2000s is where it just went haywire.
I miss the days when people just didn't care.
Oh no, like these days, it's like if you say one thing about like the wrong politician, no matter what side it is, you're going to hear about it. Oh, I don't like Biden. Well, how's Trump doing? It's like I don't like him either. Oh, well, I've got nothing now. Like
I've yet to meet a single person in the Joe Biden fan club.
That's because there's not many. No one. The thing is no one worships him. That's the difference. He's not like. I didn't see a whole bunch of people that worshipped Obama either. Like you had some people that were kind of fans, but with the whole Trump thing, you have a lot of people there that like it was like a sporting event.
You can get the merchandise.
No, there's stores that still sell that merchandise and make a killing.
Yeah.
Like I thought about opening up an online store to sell Trump shit just to make some money. Do I believe it?
I had the same thought.
Yeah, like do I care about Trump? No, I don't care about Trump, but I could make a killing with this shit. Cut him out of store. Oh, you don't like these books? Well, I'm not going to sell these books because I don't believe in them. I'm going to sell you the book with that cover on it. It's going blank inside so you can burn it.
That's what I never understood about, like, the whole gay wedding cake argument.
I don't know. Yeah.
I understand that if you have certain religious views, there are things that you won't do, like you won't be gay, right? But at some point, as a business owner, shouldn't you say, well, these guys have absolutely fabulous and elaborate weddings and will need a lot of cake. I would want to be that supplier. But maybe that's just, the business owner in me. I don't know.
No.
But it's the same with actors in film roles,
Yeah.
I won't do that because it go against, goes. I won't play a Satanist because I'm whatever. Like, but it's if it's a good role, I'll be whoever you want me to be because acting, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the show.
No, it's okay. No, I'm right there with you. But either way, I do have to get going though because I have to get ready for my return shift in about 3 hours. So, yeah.
So I guess we're here. We're at the end.
Yes, sir. Guess so.
Okay, well, I guess we got to answer the question then, Mr. Brandito Burrito.
Yo, what's up?
Where can people find you on social media?
Facebook, Brandon Junk, or you can find me on Instagram, bjacksman1982. You can also find the WADcast on the Instagram.com/the WADcast. Black picture, white banner that says WADcast in it. Same with Facebook. You can also find our website at thewadcast.com. And, that's where you can find any updates on our future shows. But that's about it. So, Josh, what about you? Josh, your mic is muted. There we go.
I'm being told I'm muted. What I was saying is there's a lot of things going on. And if you want updates on any of it, you just go to wadcomedia.com or find Wadco Media on Facebook. You'll get the link to the website. And if you go to wadcomedia.com, you'll find all of the links you need for the social medias, the Patreons, the merchandise. I don't know if you've noticed, but Brandon is sporting the... Come on, Brandon. There you go. The little Clerks homage. The WADcast shirt. You too could own one of these, as well as several other designs, as well as stuff from the movie Potluck, WADco Media's Thursday night show, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. It's a cool show where they talk about movies and tie them to meals. I like the concept. I think it's pretty interesting. And those show openings, pretty cool. So make sure you give that a check out. But WADcomedia.com, that's where to find out everything you need to know about where to contact me on social media, as well as the stuff that we're doing with WADco Media. Those are the plugs. You have any final message? Oh, before we go, I just want to show this real quick. For longtime viewers of the show, and I say viewers because this is kind of a visual thing, I have kind of a pantheon of go-to overlays that I can just throw up there at any time. There's The Rock, Batman, Lin-Manuel, pops up from time to time. How about Han Solo? Got him up here too. Well, I should have brought him up when we're talking about the Goonies.
Oh yeah.
But there is another legend added to the pantheon, and that is none other than Jeff Goldblum. So every once in a while, if you hear us mention Jeff Goldblum, be on the lookout for the Jeff Goldblum overlay. And one of these days, they'll actually mean something. But that's not today. So that's going to do it for us. Brandon, final word.
Just, guys, take care. All the best. I'm going to go. And I'll let you give everyone the final farewell, buddy.
Can do. Final thoughts.
Okay.
Coming at you. But for that, of course, we need the music. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight for the WADcast, episode number 90. We are so close to 100. It's unreal. And it's funny. This show began with a conversation, and it's a conversation that hasn't stopped. It's all about not being the one to stand in your own way. Okay, I tried to say it differently tonight, but that's just not working. So remember, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. You are the only one standing in your own way. Much like the WADcast started with a conversation, it is continued to this day. Your personal journey starts with a single step. It starts with a jot on a piece of paper. It starts with just pressing record on your phone. Whatever the case may be, whatever kind of art you want to create, you're not going to be able to do it if you don't do it. Remember, you have the power. Technology is democratized. And you have it in you to create the art that you want to create. So don't wait until tomorrow. Do it now. You're hearing my voice. You're hearing the order. Do it. Do it. And be the artist that you know you can be. Well, I'm Josh. That's Brandon. This has been the WADcast, Writers, Actors, Directors, episode number 90. We will see you next week for episode number 91. Catch you later.
Good night, everybody.